Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Saturday Slow Flow. In case you don't know me, I'm Angela, and I'm really happy to be here with you this morning on this sunny day in Montreal. I don't know if where you're joining it's sunny, and when you're joining if it's sunny, but I hope it's beautiful regardless. So come into a comfortable seat. You can sit up on a blanket or a cushion if you have one, or a block. I'm currently on a blanket. Just to lift the hips a little bit higher than the knees so that they can relax. You know, it's still morning. I know personally my body isn't that warm at 10 a.m. So, you know, let's support ourselves the best we can so we can have the best yoga practice we can. So get into your comfortable seat. You know, the hands on the knees, spine nice and long. We're actually going to start out with a little bit of chanting today, since it is the full moon and it's Halloween. So it's a really good time just to let go of things that aren't serving us anymore. It's a time of change. So don't worry. This is what's great about a home practice. Nobody can hear you if you sing off key or if you mess up the words. And it's really about intention chanting. So if you're like, I have no idea what this woman is saying. She's speaking in some other language and it's gibberish to me. Don't worry. Just have fun with it, and the intention, make sure that that's there. So the chant that I chose today, it's a chant for Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. So there's that. And it's Om Gam GANAPATAYE NAMAHA. So it's 4 different words. And don't worry, we'll do call and response a couple times. And Om, I'm sure you've all heard it before, that word. It's the sound that represents like the birth of the universe and the connection between everything. Om is everything. It's the sound of the universe, basically. Gam is the sound of the root chakra. And through its awakening, you know, at the base of the spine, we can feel safe, we can feel secure. Root chakra, or Muladhara. Mul means original, or Mula, sorry, and Adhara means foundation, so like our original foundation. And supposedly that's where Ganesha takes residence in. All very interesting stuff. GANAPATAYE is another name for Ganesha. Ganesha has so many names. And NAMAHA is another salutation. It's kind of like Namaste. I think that's about it, which is a lot, but don't worry. What I think of when I chant this, it's just like, Ganesh, please get these obstacles out of my way so I can move forward. Give me the knowledge I need to just take steps in the right direction. That's basically what I think when I chant this. So Delta wants to sing along with us. I'm going to start. Do it once. And then you can join. So call and response. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth, just letting go. And I'll begin. Together. GANAPATAYE. Together. GANAPATAYE. NAMAHA. Together. NAMAHA. Combine the last two. GANAPATAYE NAMAHA. breath in. No fear. Let's do this. Opening your eyes, we'll just sit for another couple moments in meditation, just feeling that vibration after chanting. Maybe forming your intention now. Maybe it's one of letting go of things. Maybe it's one of removing obstacles. Some that are put there externally, but also obstacles that might be put there internally. So things we put up ourselves, walls or protective armors, or even negative self-talk. That can be an obstacle too. You know, we can tell ourselves something is so over and over and over again, and then we can believe it. So that can also be an obstacle to remove. Keeping your attention on the breath and really allowing yourself the space to just be. Like there's nothing else you need to do right now but breathe and sit here and be still with your breath. So many of us can rush into the weekend, like we just can't wait for Saturday to get here. And we can forget to just step back and enjoy. So taking a few more breaths here. And if you notice you're drifting, if you're elsewhere, if you're already like onto your day in your head doing the dishes and answering emails, just take a deep breath, bring it back, and turn down the volume of that chatter. And stay present with your practice. All right, bring your hands together in front of your heart, and we'll start the whole practice with 3 ohms. And if ever you don't want to chant, if you're in a place that you're not comfortable chanting, maybe you have a lot of family or roommates, it's okay, you don't have to. This is just an option. Deep breath in. Joining live, you want to press play on the playlist right now, you can. It's in the chat. Those of you who are joining us from home, it's also in the email, so we'll count down together. I'm going to play it on my end too. So finger on the button, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Music. All right. Now, if you have prana lotion at home, this is a great thing that's made here in Montreal, female-owned business. She's amazing. Her name is Shannon. I love her. You can grab some prana lotion. I'm going to do it myself. And if you don't have prana lotion, get up and go get like hand cream or something that just like smells good, something that feels good, and like take a sniff. Fill up your sinuses with that good smell. And take a second. Rub your shoulders. You carry a lot of weight on them. And yeah, like sometimes we can minimize or downplay the things we do in life and like how much responsibility we have and how tired we are sometimes. And it's like, no, I'm fine. Delta needs a nap. But like for this hour together, let's just like, okay, I'm allowed to pamper myself. And if you're ever interested in grabbing some of that prana lotion, let me know. I have some here. It's available on my website as well, supporting local business. So once you feel like you've given yourself enough of a massage, you can come back to us, like just a comfortable seat. You might have cross legs. You might have one foot in front of the other. Doesn't matter, just be comfortable. So hands on the knees. Tune into your breath again. And on your inhale, I want you to roll the shoulders back, tilt the pelvis forward, look up. And on the exhale, slowly start rolling back. So round your upper back, your middle back, tuck your tailbone and lean back, extend your arms. Oh, inhale, roll the pelvis forward. Just being mindful of like every vertebra as it moves. Like we don't have to do these intense big motions to reconnect with our bodies. So just breathing. Hey, bird, don't be sassy. He's being sassy right now. Don't mind me. And the bird. In my home studio, I have a sauna, an infrared sauna. Delta bird, stop. Yeah, you know I'm talking to you. And he wants to be in it and on it at all times when I'm not paying attention. And he knows it. He knows right now I'm like I'm stuck. I can't get up. So if anybody has a pet, you know that a pet is such a challenge in patience, but it's such a beautiful challenge in patience. So if you're feeling stressed out, if you're at your house and you hear the kids or you hear like the garbage man or whatever, just take a breath. It's like, okay, we can't really control that right now. Let's control what we can, which is our breath and our movement. Last one, exhale. Thank you, Delta, for giving me a teachable moment. Inhale back to center, lift the arms up and really stretch. Feel everything lift up, but pull your shoulders down. So you're grounded through your root chakra, Muladhara. You're connected to the earth. You're secure, you're safe. This is one of the things we're trying to really cultivate here at Shakti. It's a safe space for everybody and every body. Just breathing, reaching up through the upper body, but grounding down through the lower body. And this can be really active. Like your fingertips can be reaching, your shoulders are firing, even your quads are engaged to keep that connection through the legs. One more breath in. On the exhale, we're going to twist to the right, bringing the left hand to the right knee and the right fingertips behind the back. Inhale, sit up tall, push your sits bones down, and on the exhale, twist, looking over the shoulder. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And not going too hard. This is like slow flow, right? It's Saturday morning. We're starting off our weekend. We're warming up the body. We're starting that little fire. Not hard. We're not torquing into this. Last breath. On your exhale, pull your navel up and in to make space. And look over that right shoulder. Inhale, slowly come back to center. So the same way we did before, push your sits bones down. Reach up, shoulder blades pull down. Inhale, look up. reach through your fingertips like you got laser beams or lightning bolts coming out the tips. And exhale, we'll twist to the left. So right hand comes to the left knee. Left fingertips behind us. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And if you're anything like me, the moon phases can be an intense time. I feel that I'm a lot more, not vulnerable, but I guess susceptible to the energy of other people and the energy of, like, in general of the collective. Inhale back to center, lift up. So over the years, I've kind of learned how to harden myself in a not a positive way. Bring your hands to your thighs on your exhale. So for me, that's one of my obstacles, because I've put up a lot of barriers and spiritual armor and protectiveness to protect myself from energy externally. But that can like keep me from experiencing some pretty amazing things. So while we're practicing today, maybe think of a couple of those barriers that you've put up yourself that, you know, maybe served you in the past really good. Maybe they were like a survival mechanism, but you don't need them anymore. Things you can let go of like that. One breath in, arms float up. Keep pulling the shoulder blades down this time. Exhale, bring the left fingertips down, and then we'll lean to the left side to stretch the right side body. Oh my goodness gracious. Pull that right shoulder down, pull that left shoulder down. Take a deep breath in and trace your collarbone with your chin so that your, nose is basically in your armpit. And if you have a little bit of stank going on, don't judge it. Just be like, yeah, I worked hard. I deserve that stank. All right, one more deep breath. Reach with your fingertips. On the exhale, bend into the left elbow a little more. Staying grounded through that right sit bone. Oh, it's so juicy. Inhale back to center. Lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, bring the right fingertips down and slowly lean to the right. Getting a great stretch through the left side body. If you haven't done it already, trace your chin along the line of your collarbone. Gaze towards the ceiling. Pull the left shoulder down and away from the ears. Pull the right shoulder down and away from the ears. One more breath. Reach your left fingertips up as you ground through your left sit bone and go deep. Feel that great stretch. Inhale, coming back to center. Look up. Exhale, you can bring your hands to the earth in front of you and come through to all fours. Now, if you were sitting on something, you can move it out of the way. And take your time. We were sitting for a while, so your knees might be stiff. So take whatever time you need. Oh, my ankles are cracking. Everything is cracking. Oh. Hey, representation, right? So for all of you people out there that have joints that crack and pop and hurt and ache, I got you. So bring your wrists right underneath your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hip joints. So sometimes we like to have our knees a little farther back or a little closer because it's easier, but try to gauge exactly where your hip joints are and take a minute. Once you find it, make sure your hands aren't too wide. I find a lot of folks will either put their hands much, much wider than their shoulders, or they'll have their fingers almost together. So think of having your index and thumb, that L shape, right in line with your armpit. Now that is a solid tabletop. Spin your inner elbows forward, so when you bend your elbows, the pointy bit goes backwards. Push into your palms. And on the inhale, full on cat-cow right now. Drop the belly, shoulders roll back, look up. Hi, Delta. Do you want to come see us? Exhale, chin to chest and around your upper back. Separate your shoulder blades. Tuck the tailbone, pull the navel in. Inhale, tailbone lifts, belly drops. Shoulders roll back. Exactly. Exhale, round. Do you want to do yoga with us? He does want to do yoga with us. Two more like that. Take your time. Warming up the spine. Exhale round. And if like my inhale is longer than yours, you just do you. Don't worry about the exact cueing time that I'm doing. All right, are you encouraging? Yeah, Delta's encouraging you. So come back to a neutral spine now and open the knees as wide as the mat. Send the hips back towards the heels. And take a moment here and wiggle a little bit left and right. And just notice, how do your hip flexors feel? How does your lower back feel? And can you release any of those tight places in the hips that can let your sits bones sink a little closer towards your heels? Now I'm actually going to get a block. So for those of you who can lay all the way down onto the mat with your forehead down without lifting your bum at all away from your heels, go for it. But if you notice, to get your head on the ground, you got to come forward a bit. Grab a block. If you don't have a block, grab some books. If you don't have some books, I say this, but you might want to question your life choices if you have 0 books in your house. You can put the block on the mat in front of you and rest your forehead on it. That way we're lifting the earth to us. You know, props aren't cheating or like the sign of, I'm a bad yogi, I use props. You know, I used to think that all the time too. But then once I let my ego go and I started using props, I noticed that I could get deeper into postures because I was doing it more safely. Like I was able to align my bones better and my joints better, and I worked with my body instead of against it. I worked with my capabilities, and my ego was not fueling. It still comes back. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. If I'm in a class and like the teacher's like, oh, let's just hop up into this, my ego's like, okay, cool. But my body's like, no, ma'am, no. So you can rock your forehead left and right a little bit. And if you're anything like me, you can hold a lot of stress in your brow. So almost like you're kneading dough with a rolling pin. You're just like rolling out any stress, any knots, any tension. Just let go. And being the full moon sometimes, and you know, Halloween, the veil, I'm sure you've all heard that experience. The veil between the worlds could be a little bit thinner, so we're wiping away the dust from our third eye by rocking back and forth. Maybe today you'll get some interesting thoughts or, you know, ideas. Sometimes all we have to do is be open to them. But I won't get too witchy. I'll leave that for the full moon ritual flow that we're going to be doing this evening. One more breath here. And I want you to exhale out the mouth. Just let go of something that's been weighing on you this week. Just anything. Push into your hands and come up to the elbows and walk forward a little bit so that your knees are back underneath your hips. Yeah, good boy. So tuck your toes here and push your heels back. This might not feel like anything to some of you, but anybody who's got really tight Achilles tendons and calves, you'll feel this already. So the idea is to keep your hips a little bit in front of your knees, just a little bit. You can stay here on your elbows. If this is already intense for you in your shoulders and your back, you can stay here. You can go a little deeper by walking your hands forward more, letting the chest come closer to the ground. Yeah. If you can go even deeper, the chest can come all the way down and the chin can come to the earth. Maybe the forehead comes to the earth. You can untuck the toes here if that feels good. So this is puppy pose. I'm going to put my forehead on the mat so that my voice still gets picked up by the microphone. Now, if this is too intense, you know, walk your knees forward. Come up on the elbows a bit. We're just trying to get a little back bend, a little heart opener. And just be cool with wherever your body's at. If you notice that like mean voice is coming in, like, oh, you should be able to do this. I don't know why, but my mean voice sounds like my mother. If that voice is starting to like comment and critique on your posture variation, just tell it to shush. And on your next inhale, if you're all the way on your belly, you can push into your hands and slowly come back up. Tuck the toes And we're going to send the hips back. You can keep your hands on the earth. Yeah, you had a fly. I don't know if you heard the bird, but he had a little fly. You can stay here. If you're not feeling it in your feet at all, walk your hands back and we're gonna sit up. Trying to bring the shoulders over the pelvis and engaging through the core so that it alleviates a little bit of the pressure on the legs. And then for those of you who know how to engage your pelvic floor, this is a good time to practice doing that. You'll feel a kind of lift. I guess a good idea is like you're trying to hold in a fart. So it's like an in and up feeling. I know that everybody's held in a fart before, so y'all know what I'm talking about. That super quiet moment in the movie theater when like a hush falls over the crowd. You're like, oh God, no. TMI? That never happened to me during Lord of the Rings. One more breath. And then slowly you can walk your hands back towards the front of the mat. Keep the toes tucked. And then we're going to lift up and back, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. And pedal your feet here. You may have to like check the distance of your feet. Now, since we're in a slow flow today, I can't speak because I only had a coffee, not to like normally. All right. So inhale through into a plank and notice if you have to adjust your feet. So if you have to move your feet back a bit, that means your down dog was a little bit too short. You want to be able to flow from a plank with the shoulders right over the wrists back to a downward facing dog. I know your heels might lift a bit. That's okay. My heels don't touch in my downward facing dog. They did many moons ago, they did touch, but you know, they don't anymore, and that's okay. And I'm working towards getting them down. Like, I'm not just like, okay, fine, that's how it is. But if they never do get back down, that's okay. I'm feeling the stretch in my calves. I'm feeling the connection to the earth under my hands, and I feel strong. Like, I love down dog because it makes me feel really strong. It makes me feel connected to the earth. A smile. I just started smiling just out of nowhere. Yeah. All right. One more deep breath in. And exhale out the mouth. Just letting go again. Let your heart sink closer to the mat. Push into your hands. Inhale high up onto the tippy toes. As high as you can. Almost like you're a ballet dancer and you're on point. Exhale. Bend the knees. Look between the hands. On your inhale, slowly, slowly tippy toe towards the front. First, bringing your shoulders over your wrists, even past if you can. And on your exhale, bend the knees, belly to thigh here, and fold forward. Uttanasana, hands on the elbows, crown of the head released to the floor. Have a rock. And try to relax your lower belly as much as you can. Relax that abdomen. If you want, you can open your feet hip distance apart here. It might feel a little more stable, a little more relaxing. You might want to bounce up and down a little bit, but softly, nothing too crazy, nothing too intense. One more breath. And on the exhale, release the hands down to the earth. Push into your feet, bend your knees even deeper, and now engage your legs. Roll up slowly. Oh, your quads are so fierce right now. One vertebra at a time. Ragdolling through the neck, through the arms. Last thing to come up is the cervical spine and shoulders. Once you get to standing, adjust your clothes as needed. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bring back that intention. And if you don't remember what that intention was, make a new one. Yeah. If you don't think of one, think of somebody you want to dedicate your practice to. Maybe someone who's struggling with, this, everybody's struggling right now, but someone who's struggling a little more than others, dedicating our practice to someone else can take us out of ourselves Whatever feels right for you today. Palms back together in front of the heart. Deep breath in, send the arms above the head, push the palms together, look up. If having the palms together isn't accessible for your shoulders, feel free to open the hands. It's okay, I'm just giving variations. And on your exhale, fold forward. Notice I'm hinging from my hips and keeping my knees bent. Release the crown of the head down, fingertips to the earth as well. Deep breath in, halfway lift. So really extending through the spine. Your fingertips can stay on the ground here. Your hands can come to your shins, or if you want, you can even slide them up to your thighs. For years, I did this. I brought them to my thighs because it helped me to extend my back better because I was prone to rounding. So whatever feels good, just make sure your core is engaged here in Ardha Uttanasana. You're pushing into all four corners of your feet and you're not locking your knees. Yes, I'm aware I'm keeping you in this for a while, and this is usually a transitional pose. We never really get to fine tune it. So if you can have your fingertips on the earth but maintain that straight spine, go for it. One more breath here, look forward. Exhale, bring the palms to the earth and step the right foot back, drop the right knee down. If you have knee issues, you can put a blanket underneath your knee or double up your mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up. So coming into Anjaneyasana, engage your core, squeeze your thighs in towards the midline. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale. Exhale, maybe allowing your pelvis to come forward a little bit more. So you can have your back straight, or you can slightly lean back for a little bit of a heart opener, but I don't want that back bend to come from your lower back. I want it to come from the mid and upper back. So you're trying to tuck your tailbone under as you're opening the heart. So protect that lumbar spine. One more breath, extend the arms up. Exhale, hands to the earth. You can have your right hand on the ground or you can grab a block. It's up to you. And by grabbing a block, I mean putting your hand on a block. Bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot. And on your inhale, slide your left hand up your left shin, past your chest, up towards the ceiling. Now I'm gonna move the block because it's too much for me. Here we go. So we're in a revolved low lunge. So what I want you to do is squeeze your left knee in towards your chest. And if you have like a tum-tum or your chest is in the way, grab it and move it out of the way. Oh, it was like revolutionary when the first teacher told me I could do that. It's like, what? I can move my boobs to get into this better? I don't have to like awkwardly try to get into this posture. All right, one more breath. And on your exhale, bring your fingertips back to the earth. Inhale, look forward, roll your shoulders back. And on your exhale, really slowly. Oh, this hurts my knees so much. Slowly send your hips back, toe towards the ceiling. And just like we did in our Ardha Uttanasana or our halfway lift, we're not rounding, we're lengthening. You can come up on a block here, it's cool, or two if you have them. We just really want that long spine. Turning your attention to your pelvis. So you're not dipping it, you're not rounding. You're trying to slide your sits bones up and back. So you're not arching through your lower back. It's just neutral. And when you exhale, trying to bring the tummy towards the thigh while maintaining that neutral lower back. Still pulling the toes back towards your knee. What's going on? It says my microphone is not working properly. All right. Well, you guys are in your split. We're just going to look at what's happening here. All right. It says you can still hear me, so I'm going to believe that you're still hearing me. All right. Let's hope that worked. We're still in our half split. Next, and now you can bend into the left knee, come forward, tuck the toes, and step that left foot back. Try not to slide it, coming into your downward facing dog.
push into the hands and try to get a nice external rotation through the upper arms, through the shoulder blades. Pelvis time. So we're not leaning forward, rounding our back just to get our legs straight. Bend your knees, push into your hands, send your hips back. Notice how the lower back is able to straighten out a little bit more with the knees bent. And then from there, once you have that solid, long spine, that neutral pelvis, you can work on extending the legs. But again, it's okay if it never happens. It's cool. I just want you to feel that length through your lower back. Like, let's protect the parts that we really need. Like, we don't need to force our heels to the ground and straighten our legs, just in life, I mean. In life, we need our lower backs. That's for sure. We need to keep that safe. One more breath. Really pushing away from the ground with your hands, lifting your hips up as high as you can. Inhale high up on the toes. Roll through slowly into a plank. And on the exhale, we're going to lower down the knees, the chest, and the chin. Really slow. But don't let your chest touch the ground. Hover, hover, hover. Inhale, slowly slide through. Belly can touch the ground. Roll the shoulders back. Push into the tops of the feet. Squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. Exhale here. Inhale, push into the feet. Exhale, lift the hands. Last breath in. Inhale, roll the shoulders back a bit more. Fingertips can come to the earth. Exhale, tuck the toes. Push into the hands. Knees stay grounded. Hips to heels, forehead to the mat. Inhale here in modified child's pose. Exhale, extend the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, high up on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. And then slowly walk towards the front of the mat, lifting halfway. So again, fingertips on the ground, on the shins, on the thighs, but keep your knees micro bent. We're not locking them, especially you people that have like double jointed knees. We are not hyperextending our knees today. No, sir. No, ma'am. No ham. No spam. Dive forward. Crown of the head releases. Inhale, arms above the head. Look up. Stretch. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Samastitihi. Inhale again. Send the arms up. Look up. Stretch. Press into your feet. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Release the fingertips to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, step the left foot back, bending into the right knee. Tap the left knee down, untuck the toes. So getting squared in your low lunge, taking time to protect your left knee if you need to, doubling up your mat, using a blanket, pushing into both feet. Deep breath in, swing the arms up. Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend the elbows. 3 breaths here. So if you wanted to try get into that back bend again, think about your pelvis first. Protect your lower back, and you're opening through the upper back. Chest really open. What, you think that's funny? All right, one more breath. Arms extend above the head. Look up. Exhale, release the hands to the earth. Now, if you used a block on the other side, you can put it under the left hand here. If not, deep breath in. Right palm comes to the outside of the right shin. And inhaling, swipe it like you're like putting on some cream on your leg. Send your fingertips to the ceiling. Keep your hips low here. Don't let your butt move back. We're going to do that later. So squeezing your right knee into the chest. Hey, good boy. It's so weird to hear an animal like say something to you, but in your own voice. It's like, what is happening? Yeah. You don't say. 2 more breaths. Push up and out of that left hand. Keep squeezing that right knee in. 1 more breath. Exhale, bring your right hand back to the earth. Look forward on your inhale. Roll your shoulders back. And on your exhale, send your hips back slowly, walking your hands towards your left knee.
Focusing on the pelvis, grabbing a block if you need. So we're sliding those sits bones back. What do you want? Do you want to come do yoga with us? Are you sad that I'm not giving you all of the attention? That's what it is. So keep pulling your toes back towards your face. 2 more breaths. I'm going to get this little dumpling. Come here. Inhale. Come here. Exhale. He doesn't want to come. Last breath in. And exhale, you can let it go. All right. Inhale, slowly you can bend into that right knee, coming back into our low lunge. Look forward. On the exhale, tuck the left toes, lift the left heel, step back. Coming into downward facing dog. Pushing into the hands. Keeping the knees bent. And also, like, if you forever want to pedal your feet, like, I encourage you to try to find stillness in every posture, because it helps us to, you know, find stillness within difficulty or discomfort. But if any posture is like so uncomfortable that you just got to move, then move. Oh, Lord knows I do. All right, inhale high up on the toes. Roll through into a plank. Now it's up to you. You can take one chaturanga today by lowering down halfway, or you can do knees, chest, chin, or you can take a halfway variation by just bringing the knees down and lowering down. I'm gonna go full chaturanga today. So you wanna join me? Inhale, forward on your toes, look forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, lowering down halfway. Squeeze your core, flip the feet. Inhale, extend the arms, slow, push up and away from the earth as you roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hips up and back, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, high up on the toes. Exhale, lower down to the knees, open them up as wide as the mat, send the hips back, release the crown of the head to the earth. Uttanasana Balasana, or extended child's pose. So there's a few different variations for child's pose. Knees wide, chest to the earth, arms forward. And there's also knees together, forehead on the ground, but the hands behind you. I prefer this one because I have tight shoulders, and this helps to stretch parts of them. One more deep breath in. Imagine you're bringing the air all the way down to the bottom of the belly. And exhale at the mouth, just let it go. Push into your hands, come back up to all fours. Cross your ankles, walk your hands back. Extend your legs out in front of you. Coming into Paschimothanasana, or seated forward bend. Now you can use a strap here if you have one. My hair just got crazy. I totally planned that, you know, to come up out of my child's pose and have a salon selectives moment. Inhale, arms above the head, look up. If you're using a strap, obviously don't bring your arms up, hold onto the strap. On the exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips. Bring it back to your pelvis so you're not rounding, but you're finding that length through the lower back, length through the middle back, length through the upper back. You're hinging from your hips. Bring your hands down and use your fingertips. Like, imagine that you're like little gecko fingertip suction cups, and helping you pull your chest forward and roll your shoulders back. You're all thinking about that like gecko car insurance gecko right now, aren't you? Licking his eyeball. Or not. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. Well, not maybe, I'm definitely a weirdo. So every inhale, pushing your sits bones down and sitting up a little bit taller. And then exhale to fold. If you can get your hands to your toes without rounding, go for it. But if you notice your upper back starts to round, just come back up a little bit, reset, and make your way back down into your forward fold. There's a whole bunch of crows out in the tree in front of my house right now. A murder. How perfect for Halloween, eh? So Delta is very interested by these big blackbirds, and they've started to make a really interesting sound around the house, like almost like a dolphin, these crows. Like, like that. And Delta has learned to mimic that sound. So I start to quote him, Ace Ventura, the dolphins, and does he call you at home, and all that stuff. Anyways, I'll shut up about stuff now. I do like to distract people when they're in their long postures, so that, you know, it doesn't seem like we're just hanging out in this posture forever. One more breath. Reset. Push your sits bones down. Sit up tall. Exhale, fold as far as you can. Oh, let your forehead drop. Slowly inhale. Roll up. Arms above the head. Stretch. Pew, pew, pew. Exhale, hands to the earth. Bend into your knees. Bring your booty forward a little bit. Soles of the feet to the ground. Hands up. Baby, hands up. Give me your boat pose. Give me your. Anyways, slide your toes towards your bum. I haven't heard or thought of that song in like 25 years. Lift your shins parallel to the earth. If this is too much today, you're like, hey, it's Saturday morning. Girl, you're asking too much of me. Bring your hands underneath your shins. Just make sure your shoulders stay rolling back. Your chest stays proud. Inhale, smile. Exhale, let go of something that's been bugging you. Like, just let it go. You don't have to carry that weight, especially not here, not now. One more breath. And on your exhale, extend your legs. Ooh. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly start lowering down. Ooh, that wasn't very slowly on my part, but you know, try to do that. For 3, 2, 1. Don't do it. Don't let go yet. And let go. Now you can stretch your arms above your head, point your toes, take a stretch. Make sure you don't hit yourself on like aquariums or other things around you. You can bend your knees and then bring them up into the chest and take a, well-deserved rock left and right. See, I've been bringing Delta in to do yoga with me almost every class that I teach now, and he loves it, and he's usually pretty good. I don't know, he's extremely frisky today. Don't you dare jump on that sauna. You are going to get in so much trouble, bird. He's like, you know, like kids, like, oh, mom can't do anything. She's got company over. She can't punish me. It's the same thing. Hey, bird. You know you're good looking, but enough of that. All right. Let your knees fall to the left and extend your right arm out to the side. Oh, taking a nice supported spinal twist. So 5 breaths here. Inhaling to fill your belly, fill your chest. Delicious, delicious twist. And exhale, let that left shoulder sink a little more in towards the earth. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, fill the belly, make space, like let your heart just be open to anything. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Squeeze the knees in. And on the exhale, let your knees fall to the right, turning your head to the left. Coming into your spinal twist on this side. And don't worry, if you have a space between your shoulder and the earth, just let it get closer slowly. There's no need to rush, no need to force. Just chilling with your twist. Just making sure that the microphone is still working while you're in your twist. There you go. So you can come back to center. So bring the knees up into the chest. And then from here, if you have a blanket, if you have a block, I want you to place it right underneath your lower back. So lift your knees with the power of your belly. So I'm going to show you. So your knees into your chest. So use your core, lift up, and then get that blanket or that block underneath you and extend your feet towards the ceiling. Extend your arms towards the ceiling. Taking 5 well-deserved breaths here in Viparita Karani.
or legs up the wall pose. So just letting any heaviness, any tension, any stress, anything that is no longer yours to carry, and you know what I'm talking about, let that just drain out of the legs. Let it go. Inhaling, allowing the venous blood to just drain from the legs. Exhaling, just maybe feeling the tingling in the toes. Maybe feeling that great connection to the earth under your back. 2 more breaths. And if you don't feel anything, that's okay too. You don't have to feel anything. Exactly what's happening is perfect. It's enough. There's nothing more needed. Nothing needs to be changed. And then from here, you can slowly bend into your knees and bring the feet back to the earth. Lift your pelvis up by pushing your feet down and remove that prop. Slide it out of the way. Slowly lowering down the lower back. Final pose is supported cobbler's pose. Let the feet come together, open the knees wide. And you can either bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your tummy, or you can lift your arms up above your head, bringing your hands to your elbows. Whatever feels best right now. The hands on the heart and belly is more grounding, more reassuring, more protective even. While as the arms above the head, it's just more open, more vulnerable. And not in a negative connotation, just like you're open, you're comfortable enough to be open and vulnerable. 2 more breaths, wherever you are. And then from here, if your arms are above the head, you can bring them to the outsides of the knees and help them back together. And take a breath to pull the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a final squeeze, a little rock left and right. If you want to take a happy baby before heading into Shavasana, you can. But if you're ready, grab your socks. Put your socks on. Grab a blanket. Cover yourself up. Like, we have a nice long Shavasana today. So get comfy. The body will cool down while you're in this pose. So set yourself up for the most comfort as you can. And then when you're ready, when you're installed, opening the feet as wide as the mat and letting the toes just turn out so that your hips can be in an outward rotation, external rotation. Walking the shoulder blades just a little bit under the chest. So not so much that you're rounding your back, just a little shimmy under, palms towards the ceiling. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And take a nice deep breath in. Fill the belly up. And exhale out the mouth. Melt into your mat. Inhale through the nose. Fill the chest. Let it get big. Take up space. Exhale out the mouth. Last time, deep breath, fill the belly. Let it get big, fill the chest, let it expand, and hold it at the very top for 3, 2, 1. And exhale, let it go. And allow yourself to really sink into this Shavasana. Nothing else to do. Absolutely nowhere else to go. This is it. Allowing every muscle to release and relax as you settle in to your Shavasana.
Ever so slowly, you can start to bring a little bit of movement back. So wiggle the fingers a bit, wiggle the toes. Move the ankles and the wrists. And then your next breath in, stretch the arms above the head and like take a full body stretch. Point your toes, flex your thighs. Then exhale, let it go. And slowly you can bring your knees up into your chest. And then rock gently over onto your right hand side and take fetal position just for a moment. Just, noticing how you feel. Noticing if there's a sense of calmness, of connectedness, and seeing if you can carry that with you through the rest of your weekend. Maybe in the rest of the next week, maybe even all of November. And know that that feeling is always here for you. That your practice is always waiting for you. So gently you can start to lift yourself back up to seated. And bringing the hands together in front of the heart, we'll close our practice with 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti means peace. Deep breath in. Happy full moon. Happy Halloween. Namaste, my friends.